They have all these pings, all these ideas, but everybody's 3 feet, 5 feet away from the start of it. Who is going to be the first one that says, screw it, we're in?
The thing is, they've still got, again, all 3 smoke canisters and C4s, and another Vulcan canister has gone off. They've got enough here to hold out, I think, Emmy, if they carry on. Wolves are going to have to force the issue here. They're going to have to go aggressive. They're going to have to burn through a bunch of utility. Shinka inhaling loads of gas. Mowgli finds one. Bibu goes down elsewhere to Benja. We're into a 3 versus 4. It looks like it's going from bad to worse for the Wolves as we get into the last 10 seconds.
They hit a brick wall, but suddenly a bit of blue pops up. It's a 2 versus 1, technically, and now it's nobody. As you said, there was so much still in the pockets. The Wolves, they weren't quite in a conversation. Plan push. At this point, it is all down to P4 and Shinka to see if they can try and bring a bit of a trade game. Unfortunately, they cannot even get close. Shinka has to swing. Does some of the close damage to 1, pops his way back round to Archives and looks for the lead in on the next fight, but with a minute, it's a lot of time here. G2, you remember, hero plays were your downfall last time. Please stop trying to be a hero. We've suddenly gone into a 2 versus 2 from a 4 versus 2.
Oh, Shinka!
Shinka is going absolutely massive. He has all the time in the world. At this point, Alamau is in this clutch situation. He's crept in close. He's able to win one out. And it is teetering on the edge, both of them with such a small amount of health. He's got a grenade, he can put pressure onto the swing, and just saw a glimmer, just saw a sliver of the player on the back end. P4, what are you gonna do? Do you swing and pre-fire the angle? Do you know where he is?
Shinka! Unreal 1v4 coming out. G2 going to be livid that they've peaked him time and time again, and he's taken scouts for fun that round. They struggled to have an impact. We saw some really cool stuff the other day. In fact, this is pretty cool. Doki being down already there. Mowgli taking control of Square and looking for a couple more victims.
I mean, he's getting in close. He's hoping someone tries to get the player. He's waiting for the audio. Will he go full brass for the swing? There's 1 take. There's 2! Is it 3? Caught in the fire, and he finds it! No, Doki just gets the trade out there.
You see the B4 as well. Really thought Doki might find him, but he marches in. Alamau caught completely unaware. And this is what I was talking about. These players out on the road, if they're not too close to when things kick off, they are going to get going. 2-1 to Wolves on the attack. See how things transform in the second half. I do like to give teams... I mean, okay, that's the way to take out the biggest problem on the other side. Doki starting to feel himself as well, taking down that entry on the other side. I spoke about this entry battle between these two being the defining factor of this game, and that is not going to change.
I mean, we talk about a panic smoke before, and this isn't a man that's panicked, but maybe a little bit irritated. He's looking into the fight either side of Banana. The pressure comes on the back end. It's pretty much impossible to defend.
Timeouts.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to hear the commentary. Maybe we'll hear it. Who knows? Who knows? But again, a lot of work being done by G2 here. A lot of it being done by Doki in the early round. We're now into that last 20 seconds. We still have 3 smoke canisters in back pocket. The first one coming out. Alamau's trying to make a play, but just gets stung for that one. That's the only hero play that will be allowed in the round, though. Last 10 seconds coming in. Wolves, it's now or never. Find your kills, or this round is done.
I think it's pretty done at this point, and it's locked in by G2. They pull themselves back level, but twice on the same site in terms of the entry statistic, but it has strictly been Mowgli, who I believe has the best entry out of anyone in the whole tournament. He's something like,
hello?
Okay.
Hello?
G2, hello, phoning G2. Yeah, collect call.
Amazing. Now they've got to react. Shinka finds one. Doki into a trade, but answered by Rise straight away. Wolves really caught G2 by surprise here, and they've got to scramble for an answer. Bibu inside the lobby catches another one on the rotate round. They've got this set up to perfection, Emmy.
I mean, they caught even our observers and us by surprise. The spray across. They look inside its side. You're looking at the timer. Only about 10 seconds left to make the distance towards the kit. At this point, it's just being locked out, and Virtue has an impossible task ahead of him. Des,
yes.
What happened? A little bit more time wasted, a little bit more pressure. P4 in the meantime sneaks his way underneath. There's about to be a quick swing round with a skeleton key. Hot droned in on the back end. They had the pickup player on the IQ as well, just in case. And now suddenly those Banana players are in a trickier situation. P4 finds Doki. Hey, we know where he was, inside sight. So suddenly, Virtue has all these alarm bells ringing. I'm under pressure here. They're putting pressure on the side. He's got to fight his way out. He gets the first, cannot see the second on the wing, as well as you said, and how are they going to rotate their way back in? Blur is removed. Bibu cuts the site in half, gets control of Archives and swings to the fight on green. Shinka He's still going to try and get the plant. Alamau, he's able to win out one, but Mowgli on the back end, and it's all down to Virtue. Gets the cover, gets the second!
There he is! Put in the front line, but can still peel to the back and decimate walls when it matters most. That one was personal. G2 win around and take us up to 3-3. Around corners and looking to tag them down that way. That's how Rise found Benja early on Square. There was no one there for a trade. There was no real support coming in on drones for him, so he got punished for that. That's the kind of thing G2 will need to get better at, I think, to beat walls, is to play more as a team rather than looking for your solos, but they found one. Can't find the second as Rise gets the trade.
I mean, 15 seconds, they're hitting Peepers, they're hitting Stock Catch, and they're just hitting Wolves. Wolves entirely pushing them back in, and they take the round, but G2 had no time.
You can tell
a misthrown first grenade. The player wasn't all the way around the back, and at this point, how much longer is he going to sit there?
Got to push it from the bottom as well, but I don't know if that Vulcan canister went off. There we go. Now it pops out. He's safe. Now gets one with the shotgun as Mowgli finds a second. A very committed defense coming out of walls for these blue stairs.
Oh, Mowgli with one more down on the back end of green, and what seemed like a fairly standard setup and go has gone. They've removed the players. The player in blue still stands. Blur and Alamau, all that's left. He's dropped himself into sight via the hatch, but he's surrounded. And he's torn up. Blur, 20 seconds. They know where he is. He's trapped in the back of a box. 3 players left. One's about to swing him on his left. He's got one on his right-hand side as well. He's able to get another 1 versus 1, and the left-hand side player pulls himself further away.
Any plan?
I mean, he has the kit, he has the option. Whether they have the intel or not, we'll probably find out very soon.
They're coming, but they are coming in. Slow pulls off there, finds Bibi, but doesn't know about the last, and Shinka's going to waste time here. I think he gets away with it. So close for Blur, but Shinka goes the 1v4. God, it's me, not you. Wolves up 5-3.
Virtue get a lead, and he's a little bit alone. And he's trying to swing the fight. There's players on his right and on his left, and he's able to win the first. The second should, and does, get the return, the response. Been under control before, but lost it now. And the 2 versus 3. Blur, he's creeping his way through. He's trying to go a bit unchecked. Wolves aren't handing him anything. Look at the time, look at the fight. Takes the first swing, ducks under the second, doesn't get traded out. Benja with some of the cover on the back end. He's
got to hold.
Looking for the loose fight. Blur, hold your nerve, hold F, and hold that down to the floor. The pre-fire is Benja's in a post-plant. 2 versus 1 versus 1, and around we go. Rise either side with the scrappier gun. He's looking for the take, looking for the body, and looking for some semblance of a sliver here of Benja out of grenades, and a gun that you said should be able to win these kind of engagements. He has the distance and doesn't pull the trigger! Nice!
New versus old, and old prevails.
You're very first, and maybe you're very last. And they just need to be able to slip the distance. Alamau coming up underneath, doesn't have the kit, but does have an idea on a hatch. They are going right towards a site where no one's in, but Benja gets locked down from the back end. The slightly off-center hold gets back with Virtue getting some cover, but Bibu has Blur. And Alamau, that's a nice shotgun, but you're a little bit out of range of anybody. Doki slips his way around the corner, but nobody's there. They're looking and knocking on doors, but the French have moved to a different location, and the only thing they're taking is the bank.
Taking all the money to the bank as well. What a statement from Walls in map 1.
Sure that once upon a time it was a rotate, but I'm not sure if that truly popped off. There was an impact.
It didn't get it, no,
halfway through. No, yeah, it's connected. There on the top black. The Talon shield is going to creep its way around. They're trying to find themselves all the way across. They have the rotate angle and they have the deployment. They have to make sure that they can try and stop this. No time. They rotate themselves closer. The impact doesn't go far enough. There's 3 kills. Suddenly, Shinka, all alone, doesn't really have much in the
against
pockets.
4 though, Emmy.
I mean, he did it before. It's that worry, the smoke. A little too late, but what else can he do?
He's got a player on window here as well. The chance he wins this one out is going to be absolutely ludicrous. He's trying to fight his way up black stairs where there are 2 players from G2 just ready and waiting. Gets swung on. A much better team-driven round from G2.
So far, so can he step back in with a little bit more panache? Oh, what are you doing?
Yep. He's fancying it. Sees the foot. I don't know if he saw the foot on the other side of this one as well. P4 being pushed by 2 or 3 players. They get in and get 2 kills. It's a fast plan from G2. Catching Walls on the back foot. It's down to a 3 versus 3 though. Top control being established. They've got the hatch, but it's too late because the plant is down and G2 still have the numbers advantage. Rise back 1 into a 2 versus 2 as Bibu gets 1 more. Virtue 4-0 on the map has got to hold it all down.
He's got it from range. They're trying to find the player. They don't know if it's the window. They don't know if it's the door, but it's the swing round, the smoke. They're just trying to force him far away. The flash, the ping of the E1D.
He's got to go.
He's got to move. You've got to get yourself into the fight. The calls are there. The pressure. He cannot connect. His way across. Doki's in a scrappy fight around the prep line on the back end. They meet an electric wall, and he can't get out the door. Mowgli's there offering Bibu some support that was not there before.
And that gives them the downstairs control. They've got a C4 in back pocket for Mowgli to make it happen. Not like it's needed here, because Wolves are deleting the side of G2 when it comes to gunfights. Only Blur and Virtue, the two backline players, left standing to face off against 4. P4 gets a kill through a full white flash. Virtue left alone. We've seen this one before, Emmy, but I don't think even he can do it against the onslaught of Wolves here. 3 left standing. No, he cannot. Wolves take round 3, and it's looking exactly the same as Bank, with Wolves taking a 2-1 start. By himself, trying to be a bit of a backstab. Bibu finds one back, but again, you know, there's 2 players on site, with Bibu currently off the one looking to contest and be the, oh, hey, you need to drone me, you've got to come clear Dragon. G2 have been sat here now for 1 minute and 20. Dragon is still Wolves' control.
And that's the thing here. This is the problem with G2. They're forcing motions, they're forcing abilities, they're trying to drive themselves through. Bibu is forced further and further back. Shinka, he's moved into the dead space where P4 was. He starts trying to hit the hammer home, but a very quick trade. Back on from Benja. Bibu. The last French statement, a 2 versus 1. They have one more! A 1 versus 1, and it is a Bibu round!
Fabian is gonna be furious. The door is now finally opened. We are, of course, attaching in towards Kitchen and Barbecue. And Benja with a, it sounds cruel, but an uncharacteristic entry against Mowgli.
I mean, they need it. They need that little bit of magic. They need that little bit of energy. I cannot imagine how hard it is to step up onto this and play. And
there he is, Benny boy.
Removed the man of the previous moment, and suddenly Benja has some of this control. Remember how little they had last time because they went for that rush plant and the vertical cost them. Benja!
Oh, Benja!
Well, Fabian has slapped a bit of energy. Can he go for the 4th? They don't even want to risk it. Shinka, he pulls himself out of there, but Benja isn't ready to let this fight go away from him. Please, I'm hungry, and Alamau says, don't worry. I'm happy to have the bite on the side myself. Shinka, well, we've had
no throw, boys, no throw.
Please, G2.
They've got to know where he is as well. There we go! Wow! What an answer by Benja, by the way. 4K in the round?
I feel bad for G2 on this approach that it can't be that comfortable.
Yeah, Benja's been sat on the window looking inside a site for the longest time, just waiting for members of the defense to move around. Alamau is feeling himself a little bit as well. Bibu just get a trade, but it's down to a numbers advantage for G2, and assuming we don't
try and slip your way past the watch on the back end, and again,
time.
Cannot mention it enough. Time, the combination of the player underneath. They've got to try and find themselves. There he is on the hunt for the diffuser. There he is waiting for the time. There he is spraying and getting the drop down. There's only a pocket full of seconds left. Can they even get it in time? He's just got to hold F. It's a trade out. It is a Bibu Solis underneath looking for the player. Benja, he's gone! Pressure onto Doki, actually catches the tail end of Blur through the soft wall. The grenade was close enough. They have the pings on the player. They know he's down, and they're just going to cement it elsewhere. In the meantime, Rise goes. Mowgli is able to put some damage into Gold itself, with Bibu finding the end of Alamau. So, Blur still down, and he is so far from recoverable. Doki has to fight his way out. Puts us in a tricky situation. They still haven't been able to cement the pick back up here. They haven't been able to cement the kill either, because Virtue's making things happen.
I honestly don't know what to believe anymore about number disadvantages. The only thing really helping G2 here is the clock. The hatch is being held. They've got 1 or 2 playing at distance as well. They look ready for this step in. They find one. There's just one left. Bibu will get a kill, but it feels too little too late. Has got a Gumine in the foot, a plant in hand. There is nothing he can do. G2 will take round 7. G2 playing quite deep out into the map here as well, quite far out from site itself. Still got hold of Exhibition, but have to be careful, because we've said before, Wolves can be very good at shutting the jaws, snapped down onto your neck, and they've caught 2 players, G2, overhanging and being punished.
I mean, Mowgli, he's feeling this round. He hasn't quite been able to have the same drive in throughout this, but with Blur shutting him down from the range, again, we're seeing this a little bit more on this map than where they want it to be here. There's little sparks of that, but not quite the full read. Virtue, He steps in and gets locked out. He's trying to buy Alamau the break back through. He gets one rip and tear, but think about where he is.
Someone's waiting, holding an angle. It is Shinka, daring him to cross. They might just have to let him go here. He makes the run, gets sprayed down, but not taken out. Down to a slither of HP. Blur's here for the cover as well. Good team play. Yes, Blur. That's what you want to see. A big 3K coming out, and G2 finally seem to have unlocked that thing called team play, and a massive 4K out of Blur.
They've lost some of their lead in engagement. When we talked about what do you trade those operators for, well, that utility's gone. Instead, it's got to be a direct drive. It's a swing round for Benja. Finds Bibu on the back end, and Shinka and Rise. Well, if the backline of Blur has been a big step up this map, it's time for them to see if they can step in. Knocked instantly out. Shinka all that's left, with 3 standing players in front of him and only 10 seconds. G2, please do not throw this.
They really don't need to do anything here as well. Shinka can't win it out. He hasn't got the time. And they just wait and let him come to them. Bibu made a play on Shrine. It isn't stopping Blur being quite a challenger here, though. On towards Kochek, sees one cross, but a little bit late to the punch.
Yeah, has to drop down. He's got the rotate out if he wants to it, but the first trade is over the back end. P4 can't get the cement. It's Doki with a double, and Bibu is able to get one on the back end, but he's still in the bar, and there he is! Pops up, pops them down! Blur gets the end of it! Doki said he wants to destroy him, and that round is the first bit we've seen from the Scotsman.
Playoffs finally starting to come online. You know, I really feel the observers have done P4 dirty. They showed everything that went wrong there. He steps across, whips every single shot, has to reload, can't do anything, and Doki collects an absolute freebie onto him.
The wall open, and they can keep forcing space. There's 40 seconds left on the push, but look at how they're stacked up. G2, they've got to win these engagements either side. Virtue gets one, Blur with the second. Snap. That's it, the support structure, the pressure on the gold player, but suddenly they do not have those guns to drive themselves in. Rise gets one more. 20 seconds, though.
Absolutely snapping their ankles on the way through here. Virtue and Blur going absolutely nuclear. 10 and 4 for Virtue, and he seems to have that answer at every turn. Benja's there as well. Rise left standing, but can do nothing. G2 take map 2, which means Oregon will be our final battlegrounds.
Above E-box, above the hatch. They have the pings on the player holding onto Pillar, but they've got to try and work together to get him locked out. There's a Keeper barricade that's just come down very close towards the default door. And Virtue, I mean, he's just buying himself time. Rise does find one more. It's a 4 versus 2. He's blind. He takes a second behind the shield because he knows he's otherwise just going to get shot. He slips away the second time around, but then he leans back in. He's hoping to catch a freebie, but he hasn't been able to see for the past couple of minutes. There's the sudden 2 back.
Yeah.
Benja and Virtue either side, Rise and Mowgli. Now all that's left, but they barely have any time. There's still some fire canister onto the default as well. No, it's been removed. The pressure comes round. Rise, he's on the back end. It's a 1 versus 1. The bulletproof gives some of the game away. There's 3 seconds and a pre-fire. Stay down!
Here are going to be so far apart. One coming up white, one coming in through attic, that G2 can simply say to a couple of players, you watch this angle, I'll watch the other, and we're done. What an aggressive play coming out from Benja as well. Steps out into white, gets his man. It's gone from bad to worse for the side of Wolves. If they win this round, it's going to be on sheer gun skill alone. And it's all down to Rise. And something tells me even he can't rise to that situation. It's a round win for G2.
Angle, if this goes unchecked, he can be pretty dangerous, but think of what's above him. There's Soft, there's a worry, there's a swing from him though, takes care of Mowgli. Hopes for a second player.
Who can play, but Wolves are the one who have to make a move here. They're the ones who've got to go forward and try and find a kill, and it's not going to be found. There's a swing coming in, Blur in for the assist. Doki finds another, and G2 have bullied them out of the dining room.
Straight after attack timeout as well.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, oh dear, and that is G2 sort of saying, this is our building, this is our ball, we're taking it back and you're not allowed to play with it anymore. Break their way down the back end stairs, Bibu above E-Books, the pressure from the double door, but as the canisters come out, what was that? I don't even think Doki knows.
P4 with a wonderful shot, bringing at least something back. They've got one pushing in through construction, one sat on kitchen hatch, and one coming down as well. A-box hatch, sorry. Here comes the drops in, and Bibu's in for a fight. He's found one as well. Suddenly things start to even out. 2 quick kills for G2 as Virtue and Blur, who have had a phenomenal series, are going to destroy Wolves yet again. G2 are 3 rounds away from sending the French side home.
There's the swing and the reveal. He's blind. He's got a shotgun, sure, but only otherwise hope that he isn't swung from the side. There's Bibu going for the close angle, takes it out. A lot of damage in the meantime. Cannot get the second Benja, but he's stuck down a long corridor. Swings around the corner, can't make the motion. He's knifed blind. P4 left in a bit of a wake in a 2 versus 4. Gets one. A free take, but look at the position of G2. You've got one tucked on the corner of the plant of the kitchen corridor. Doesn't have anything done really towards the site, because remember, everything that was opened up was already opened up by G2. This is their hold, their idea, their Oregon.
And my God, is it proving to be their Oregon and a half, 5-0.
Back and Shinka's trying to find the fight with the player on the back end of it. With this being locked, they should be able to get that open, but they have no pressure anywhere else. Without pick control, without the fire, what can you do? Benja. Swings around, takes it on the back. Bibu's left alone on white stairs that's locked on the top. There's somebody behind him. He's able to win that one out.
Deleted. This is almost like it's a slaughter of the Wolves right now. A real culling, and G2 are the farmers. Bibu is ready to try and take a fight, but he finds nothing. G2 have gone 6-0 on their Oregon defense.
Stack up right towards him, but it's caught by the disc. They're not able to force the pressure. The second will bounce through, but he just survives and pulls back.
Just gets away with it there as well. Really thought he was done to rights, but no. Kept himself going. Doki's really trying to fight towards Shaiko spot here, but it's not happening. Virtue looking to join in, but Alamal's gone down. Wolves have held firm, but they crumble. 2 fall down into a 3 versus 3. Shinka wins out the 1. Doki rounding into elbow here, moving his way forward. Has to win this fight, but by the looks of it, will not be able to get away with it. Shinka looking to challenge back in as well. Down goes Virtue. 1 left, and Wolves hold on.
They still have their support structure. The grenades are rolling out to no avail. They're trying to find that first pin, and it's Doki right up white, gets one, cannot find the second. Mowgli, a very important fight that came at a big cost of damage, and you're looking at a buck, you're looking at Soften, the wings of grenades, and Alamau spraying on, but round the back is P4. The rotate up the tower stairs, nets a double. And nets a second of safety here. G2, they're trying to strike hard, hot and heavy. And with the swing going into their favor, it's suddenly a 3-2-2. A bit more width, a bit more angle, and Benja, he's so aggressive, Benja. 2 versus 2.
There's one more. Don't think he knew about the second that was still inside there. Rise had doubled up, but which way could this possibly go?
It's a pause, it's a stun, it's a swing, and a wing, and a Benja catch! It is all down to Shinka, the back line, the 5th player of a team that has some bite and fight left. They know the plant's going, they get the first!
Oh, Shinka.
And they've got to stop the plant, they hold up, they take over. They get aggressive with a ring around the rosies, they pull themselves to a safer distance. They don't see it, and Shinka keeps the Wolves' dream alive! P4.
It sees all.
Absolutely everything is being pinged in cover, and this is it. It's soft above them.
Oh, Rise!
Oh, Rise! Quickly traded, and Doki with a double, but Mowgli, he gets an important one back before it drops. It suddenly exploded. He's down. He went for the rotate up the tower stairs. The intel has been so good from Wolves here, and they have punished them. Remember where that cam is.
Mowgli's down, but largely unrecoverable here. He's more information. Oh no! You've made the play, you've opened it up. It's a 1 versus 1. Doki makes the shot, and G2 call the Wolfpack.
G2 7-2, but it had to be this way. They have moved along the lower bracket with the dangerous knowledge of they have been there before, and Wolves, they might not have. This could be a first swing for some of them. You know it will not be the last. Here they must fall.